25 years ago, Microsoft launched the original Xbox console, and with it, a game that would come to define the platform for generations to come. In 2026, both Xbox and Halo celebrate that milestone together, and Halo Studios is marking the occasion by taking us back to the beginning with a lavish Unreal Engine 5 remake of the original classic, complete with a wealth of modern enhancements while remaining faithful to the game that changed console shooters forever. This is the Day One review for Halo Campaign Evolved.
Now move it out! Double time!
I've spent the last few days wondering how best to approach a review for one of the FPS genre's defining games. And the truth is, it's impossible for me to talk about Halo without first acknowledging what the series means to me on a personal level. My journey with Halo began in 2002 when at 17 years old I picked up an original Xbox and first stepped onto the ring. Like so many others, I was captivated by its sense of mystery, its universe, and the unforgettable cast of characters that brought it to life. But for me, Halo became more than just a game. It ignited a passion for the medium that is interactive video games, and it's a passion that has never really faded. Looking back now, it's remarkable to think how much of my life can be traced back to that first encounter with Bungie's iconic sci-fi shooter. In many ways, it set me on the path that led to running a video game website, building a career in this industry, and ultimately sitting here putting this review together. So bear that in mind as you watch this, and know that the original Halo Combat Evolved is a game I love and I know intimately. If you're anything like me, what will surprise you most is that despite how familiar this all is, Halo Studios have also made Halo Campaign Evolved feel remarkably new. My initial gut reaction to Halo Campaign Evolved was one tinged with skepticism and a dash of rejection, but it didn't take long for those feelings to subside. The more I played, the more convinced I became that Halo Studios have actually accomplished something remarkable. This feels like the Halo I remember, or perhaps more accurately, the Halo that exists in my now aging memory. It's not the game as it was actually rendered on screen, but the version that my imagination has polished over the years. It's Halo rendered with a level of fidelity that we could have only dreamed of back in the early 2000s. I used to consider myself a purist. Even with Saber's 2011 anniversary remaster, I'd almost always switch back to the original visuals, preferring Bungie's art direction over Saber's divisive reinterpretation. Now, that's not an option here, but I'm also happy to report that it doesn't need to be. Halo Campaign Evolved looks fantastic in every aspect, and the team at Halo Studios have taken the original's vibe and injected it with so much more life, depth and detail that at times it feels like I'm playing through some dreamy Halo concept art now finally realised on screen. There are few games that capture and truly project a sense of place like the original Halo, and with Halo Campaign Evolved, I'm pleased to say that these first steps onto Installation 04 remain breathtaking. Those rolling emerald green hills framed by sheer cliffs, the horizon split by the impossible arc of the ring world we're standing on, it all still delivers a wonderful jolt of pure imagination. Those colossal Forerunner structures, alien and ancient and humming with unknown energy, still hint at deeper mysteries. There's a moment in the second level when you exit from underground and light pours through this Forerunner arch that just made my jaw drop. And there are plenty of moments like this through the campaign, and for those of you who know this game as well as I do, I promise that there are some wonderful surprises. Indeed, Halo Studios have made some adjustments with Halo Campaign Evolved that extend beyond the graphical presentation. There are entirely new and reimagined cutscenes that have been extended in clever ways, as well as smart changes to the various spaces that we'll navigate as part of the Master Chief's first adventure. We can sprint now, though I still regularly forgot that I could, and all sorts of more modern Halo features have made it through. The Spanker has a lock-on ability, we can wield the energy sword, and weapons like the SMG and needle rifle make an appearance. Hell, we can even board vehicles. It's a shame we can't slide or mantle, but regardless, it feels really great to play. Cutscenes are, sadly, now pre-rendered and seem to be locked to 30 FPS, but are expanded in many cases with subtle tweaks that seem to bear the entire original Halo trilogy in mind. One early example that I don't mind spoiling, Key's iconic line, "I don't keep it loaded, son, you'll have to find ammo as you go," is gone entirely, instead replaced with asking the Master Chief to ensure his personal service firearm gets to his daughter, Miranda Keyes.
If all goes well, we'll rendezvous on the object's surface. And if it doesn't, make sure my daughter gets this.
Now, we're not going to see her in this remake, but it's a move that certainly begs for a prompt follow-up. There are plenty more moments like this that work really well and give the original Halo trilogy a potential chance to feel far more interconnected and whole than it ever was before, if they make the rest of them like this. It's no secret that Bungie crunched hard to get the original Halo out the door and reused some levels that effectively played in reverse in order to extend the game. While this worked and supported the narrative, the game was criticised pretty heavily for those repeated moments and spaces. Each of the 10 iconic levels of the original Halo campaign have been entirely remade for Campaign Evolved, and Halo Studios have taken the opportunity to tighten, adjust, and wherever possible, enhance the many spaces we traverse throughout the game. And when you realise the differences, these changes land in some surprising ways. There's additional Forerunner architecture when you're fending off Covenant dropships on Halo. Room sizes and routes have been streamlined or enlarged to allow for 4-player co-op. It all successfully retains the feel of the original game, but removes a lot of the confusion and the copy-paste sensation of later levels. None has been more tweaked, adjusted, and frankly, vastly improved than the library. The 7th level of Halo Combat Evolved's campaign has long been criticised for how monotonous it was to actually play through, even if I personally enjoyed the relentlessness of the action. With this remake, it's now a far more interesting space to play through, and it wouldn't surprise me to see players really take to this new version. The same goes for levels like 2 Betrayals and Keys, which all feel vastly superior to the originals. The Moore's famous Warthog run, which didn't really make sense in terms of what the inside of the Pillar of Autumn would actually be like, even if it was fun at the time, has also been smartly switched up. The changes here are as clever as they are visually beautiful, but don't worry, the final mission retains its heart-pounding adrenaline levels whilst looking and sounding phenomenal. Beyond the remastered campaign, Halo Studios have also vastly expanded on the staple of past Halo single-player adventures, Skulls. These skulls enable all sorts of challenging and beneficial game-changing mechanics and can be a lot of fun to just mess around with. Now, instead of just 1 to find per level, there are now 3 you'll need to seek out and unlock, along with a terminal on each mission for an extra dose of text-driven lore to find. I've spent around 30, maybe more, hours with Halo over the last week or so, tracking both skulls and terminals down, and I've had a lot of fun whilst doing so, both in cooperative play as well as venturing onto the Halo ring all on my own. An additional twist that proved to be a stroke of genius was Halo Campaign Evolved's Remix mode, which takes a standard mission and activates a variety of skulls to produce an entirely new take on a level, swapping out enemy factions, weaponry and more. It's really fun, and it's sure to deliver a ton of replayability for Halo fans. The perspective skull even allows for third-person play, with Halo feeling more like Fortnite than ever before. That's one way to pull in the younger crowd. These skulls can also be used to demodernise the game into something more akin to what the original Combat Evolved was, with skulls that can remove sprint, make UNSC vehicles indestructible, and even increase the assault rifle clip to its original 60 round size. Add on to that a wealth of HUD customisation options, and there's plenty here to tweak Halo Campaign Evolved to your liking. Hell, you've even got a few skins to play around with across weapons and armour. I of course equipped Flawless Cowboy and rocked the OG style like a true Halo fan. And yes, as a huge Halo fan, I'm also a fan of its multiplayer, and it's a bummer that there's not a new arena versus mode to get stuck into. But this isn't something that was ever planned for this first, reasonably priced Unreal Engine remake. Anyone knocking the game for not having something it was never advertised as having is, I think, missing the point of what Halo Campaign Evolved is trying to do. Besides, in my mind, they've sort of made up for it with 3 entirely new prequel missions that see the Master Chief team up with Sergeant Johnson to go behind enemy lines, and they come with a few surprises of their own.
Just couldn't save any from me, could you?
Beyond the standard campaign, the 3 bonus missions, dubbed Operation Meteorite, see the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson take a Covenant dropship behind enemy lines. Their mission is to break into a top-secret facility and locate data on the Covenant homeworld, if there is one, enabling the UNSC to potentially strike back. It's set approximately a year before the events of Halo Campaign Evolved, and as such, Cortana is not along for the ride on this occasion. As a result, the Master Chief is a lot chattier throughout compared to the main campaign, and it helps that we have Sergeant Johnson to bounce off along with some other characters. The plot is surprising, and lore nerds are bound to get a real kick out of it. I'm not going to spend too long on the new missions because I don't really want to spoil them, but I would say that it feels like a condensed greatest hits of Halo's golden years, full of fantastic, beautiful and decidedly alien spaces to enjoy that 30 seconds of fun on repeat against some of the Covenant's finest. And yes, space combat does make a glorious appearance, but to say more would spoil what I think every Halo fan will thoroughly enjoy. Beneath Halo Campaign Evolved's incredibly shiny exterior though, there are things that niggle at me. Some hitboxes for physical objects like trees and rocks are woefully incorrect and annoy me in the same way that they did when Saber overlaid modern graphics on top of the old engine. You might think you're taking cover and firing shots back at the Covenant, but you're really just hitting dirt or tree bark. Additionally, and there's a part of me that I can't believe I'm even saying this, the music used throughout Halo Campaign Evolved can occasionally feel out of place. Don't get me wrong, all the tracks that you know, love and expect to kick in do so in the right places. However, the original Halo Combat Evolved was surprisingly sparse when it came to music, making it much more impactful when it did kick in. And here, tracks will play even when they're not necessarily expected. I'm as big a fan of Covenant dance as anyone, but it did start to feel a tad overused. What's also strange, to me at least, is that they seem to have used the original tracks from 2001 from what I can tell. They mostly hold up, but feel of a lower quality when compared to the orchestral re-recorded version seen in the 2011 Anniversary remaster. Regardless, when playing single player, I missed the ambience and eerie silence that felt just as intrinsic to the identity of Halo Combat Evolved as its music did. I've tested the game across Xbox Series X, Xbox Ally X and PC, and Halo Campaign Evolved is an absolutely beautiful game on every device I've played it on. It's been a while since Halo's visuals have been industry leading, but it's good to see it reclaiming the crown as one of the most gorgeous first-person shooters on the market. On PC, I've had a flawless experience. No hitching, frame drops, crashes, it's just run wonderfully. On Xbox Series X, everything seemed just fine, though my colleague Jesse experienced a brief performance issue when the game had been running for an extended 5-hour period. On restart, it seemed to resolve itself. On Xbox Ally X, I've not really been able to get great performance, even after I'd updated the device to the latest drivers and tried Auto SR. If someone has some magic settings to try, I'm all ears, but if you can accept 30 to 45 FPS max with the Xbox Ally X's VRR screen, I think you'll be okay. Or at least it'll feel like playing on the original Xbox again. Oh, and one important tip if you're picking Halo Campaign Evolved up. Before you start playing, disable screen shake in the options menu. I think Halo Studios overdid this immersive effect just a smidge to where it was genuinely borderline offensive. Turn it off right away, thank me later, it's a much nicer time. Rather than replacing Bungie's original masterpiece, Halo Studios have done something far more impressive. They've reimagined it in a way that respects the original, but makes these first steps in the Halo universe and a story that I've played through literally hundreds of times feel fresh again. Every iconic moment is here, but viewed through a lens of modern technology and, importantly, a deeper understanding of the series' wider universe. The smart tweaks to level design, the expanded cutscenes, the gameplay changing skulls, and fantastic prequel missions all feel additive rather than intrusive, and for the first time since I held the Duke controller in 2002, I found myself genuinely surprised by a game whose every beat I already knew by heart. It's not perfect. There are technical rough edges and there's some artistic decisions that I don't entirely agree with, and I still wish the game trusted silence to do the talking as much as the original did. But none of these complaints lingered once I found myself standing on Installation 04 again, looking out across these rolling hills as the Halo ring stretched impossibly across the sky. 25 years on, Halo Combat Evolved remains one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made, and Halo Studios celebrates that legacy with a surprisingly deft hand. Halo Campaign Evolved feels less like a remake and more like a love letter, not only to Bungie's original vision, but to the millions of players who first set foot on the ring all those years ago. I sincerely hope they make more.
Halo. It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video review, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and if you love what we do, consider supporting us directly. Just head to playday.one/memberships, and we'll see you next time.